Flosstube. My name is Haley, otherwise known as Peregrine Stitcher, here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel, which is all about cross stitch. Today is episode number 34, and it is August 19th, 2026. Before I got started, I've been asked a couple of times recently where I got the name Peregrine Stitcher from, and so I wanted to briefly explain. Basically, when I was deciding to do a channel and looking for a name, I wanted something related to travel because that is basically my second love after cross stitching. And I had thought that I might have a channel that was, half cross stitch and maybe half travel vlog. The travel vlogging never really panned out because I'm too self-conscious to do filming in public. But the cross stitching has been fine as long as my cats aren't watching. Anyhow, all of the names related to traveling and stitching had been taken already. So traveling stitcher, I'm sure you know the globe-trotting stitcher, wandering stitcher, all of those kinds of things. So I got out my trusty thesaurus, and it turns out peregrine is a synonym for wandering or traveling. And that is how the peregrine falcon got its name, because it, travels about from place to place. So, so I am not named after the falcon, as in the peregrine falcon, but more in the sense of peregrine, the word itself, wandering or traveling. So thanks for stepping by today. Again, I want to apologize for the buzzing sound last time. I finally figured out that it was my air conditioning, which I rarely have turned on. I just have a window unit, but it was one of those days that was like a bazillion degrees. And so I didn't realize it would cause that buzzing sound, and I didn't hear it until after it was uploaded. So many apologies. I made sure to turn it off, even though it's actually not that hot today. Okay, so I have quite a few. Let's see, I have a few finishes and a few whips, the usual, but some really good stuff. So let's get right into it. I'll start off with a little small that I finished. I always like to do these sort of in between floss tubes, a palette cleanser, if you will. So this is a little chart I got. I think it was a freebie at Stitch North, which unfortunately I wasn't able to attend because that was when I was so sick, but I had already paid for it, and so they sent me the freebies. And so this is really neat. I wanted to do this because the floss is from Brennan Needle, and you can see it's this really unusual floss with lots of different colors in it. And even the black has, you can't see it, but gray and red. And so I just wanted to see what that would look like on fabric. And this is what it looks like. I think it's kind of cool. Stained glass. So yeah, that was just for fun. I thought I'd show you. Highly recommend that floss. It's really pretty. Okay, I have two really big finishes and one medium finish, but I am loving all of them. So the first one is Elizabeth Duff Curtin. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah. So pretty. So she is done on 40 count antique button linen by Mason Linens with Versoix Soie d'Alger silk. Really colorful. Lots of Algerian islets. But yeah, so I'm excited to get her framed and added to my sampler wall. This is by Hands Across the Sea, by the way. Okay, the next finish, which I think I'm probably the most excited about because this has been in the works for a long time, is Martha Walmsley. So beautiful. I mean, that bird, it's a pain in the neck, but goodness, so gorgeous. So I did this one on 40 count tabby cat linen. It's called Lolly Brock. I think it was called for, and again with Soie d'Alger silks. I did change the verse I kind of eliminated it over here and kind of added another flower there. And then over here, I just put Amor Vinci Omnia, which of course is Latin for love conquers all. So yes, this one and Elizabeth Curtin are going to the framer tomorrow. So the vote was that Martha Walmsley should definitely go on the bird wall. And so I should clarify, I don't actually have a bird wall. It's only in my head. But it's getting closer to being a reality. So Martha Walmsley for sure. Anne Thomas is, you know, maybe about halfway finished. And I have another one. I can't remember. Elizabeth Isles. That's the one. Elizabeth Isles. So those will be 3 big bird pieces. And then I have some little ones yet to be framed that will go around it. So I know where it's going to go and what's going to go on it. But it's not actually there in reality yet. Once it is, I will show you. Okay, and then the last piece, this is kind of a surprise start and finish. This is called Bluebirds in the Branches by Diana Bloom. And this is one that is just so, it turned out so much better even than the picture. So here it is. It's on 40 count London Fog with Roxy Floss Co., both from Roxy Floss. I think I might have used a couple DMCs. Anyhow, so you can see the idea is when you put it together, this is the front, and then this is the back. And you just get something to tie it together. I did, I'll tell you a little bit more about this, but I did make a little trip to Hobby House. And so I got this purple fabric as a liner inside. And I got this kind of purple ribbon to tie it together. So I'll show that to you as soon as I've had a chance to finish it. I think that's something I can do by hand. And I won't need a sewing machine, so I should be able to do that sooner rather than later. Okay, so those were my my finishes. And I'm going to take, as I mentioned, Elizabeth Curtin, Martha Walmsley, and then I had finished Real Comfort last time, so I'm going to take that and also Jane Eyre. So those 4 pieces to the framer. Because I can add Jane Eyre and Real Comfort to my black sampler wall, which currently only has the 2023 MFE cell on it. So they're all coming together in my mind, if not in reality. Okay, so let's move on to whips. The first one I want to show you is the one I'm doing for Blackbird Academy. I'm sure you must have heard about this by now from lots of other floss tubers, so I won't go into detail, but it's a sal that lasts all year, and it has a theme for every month that you can select a chart for and finish it. Lots of fun. Already have seen some amazing inspirational stuff, and so there is a Facebook page if you're interested in signing up. So anyhow, I'm holding this up. So the one I have chosen to do for the first month, August, the theme is the alphabet. I had already started this. And so this is Margaret Harris. I started this a couple years ago. And so I pulled it out. And I'll show you where I am. I made some changes. So here we go. This is what I have so far. So this is on a 36 count Panettone by Roxy and also Roxy Floss. And so you can see I've pinked it up a little bit. I've added more pink in the border and I made the house pink. And I'm going to change the name to the name of my grandmother, Ruth Seifert, and the original said Walnut, Iowa. My great-grandmother actually grew up in Rolfe, Iowa, which I looked up on a map. It's about an hour and a half away from Walnut, Iowa, both very small towns. But I thought this would be in her honor. So I don't have too much further to go, just the flowers and birds over here. So I'm hoping to finish that by the end of August for the Blackberry Academy. And I have been working on laying out my projects for the rest of the Academy. I have a few holes to fill in, but it's all going to be fun. Let me know if you're joining as well, and I'll keep an eye out. Okay, so that is Margaret Harris. Okay, then I pulled out this one by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is Song of the Nightingale. I think I had showed this to you in my whip parade. I had forgotten all about this one, so I pulled it out to work on it, and this is what I have so far. So basically I finished this middle panel. It's a lot of stitching, but I'm ready to go on that last and final panel. So this is on 40 count porcelain by Roxy, again with Roxy Floss. Great Lakes, Deja Blue, and Oink are the flosses. And I have this in my matching bag from Evertote. Yeah, so again, just a really nice chart. Don't you love it when everything you're working on are things that you just absolutely adore? Love that. Okay, now I have my big girls. So I did a little more work on Mary 395, Bristol Sampler from Hands Across the Sea. Okay. So here she is. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Okay, so what I did was the cow and everything below it. So here is the cow and the swan, and these, the beginning of these brackets, I guess they're brackets all the way across the bottom. So this actually is the bottom of the sampler, which is very exciting. I'm turning the corner. And I think I'll probably get this done by the end of the year. I did decide to go ahead and do the 4-legged cow version rather than the 3-legged cow, which is, you know, sort of in the chart. There is an errata listed on the website, which has the 4th leg. So I don't know, I just personally didn't feel like I could handle having a cow with 3 legs on my wall. So there it is. So yeah. And so again, you know, once this one is finished, I am eventually going to have a red sampler wall. This would be the centerpiece, and I'd probably take Hannah Wells and this one up here. And I also have Ruth Gibbs done, and a few others in the wings that would go on that wall. So that will come together. Okay. The next big one I have, I continued to work on this. This is Blackbird Designs. Yeah. Number 8 of the Loose Feathers series. And again, this one, you know, I always love to do houses, but I wasn't sure. But gosh, in person, I love the way it turned out. So here we go. It's getting big. And there's number 8 down there. Yeah, it's just beautiful. So this is done on, oops, let's see here. Where is it? Did I not put it on my list? Here it is, yes. It's on a 36 count affogato by Fiber on a Works with the called for Weeks Dye Works floss. And so I'm going to work on number 9 next month, the last one, for the birds theme, which works out great for September for Blackbird Academy. And then that'll be a big finish, hopefully next month. I think I need to have a blackbird wall too, especially after this whole year of working on blackbirds. Okay. Oh gosh, I do have it. Good. Okay. The next big one that I have is Antong Uffendale, also by Hands Across the Sea. So I had started this last time. I just worked a little bit on the border. I'll show you what I have now. Again, it's so much better in person than looking at the picture on the chart. So I got that big flower in the middle, and then, you know, the hardest part was, and the very first thing you have to do in order to get the counting right is these 3 little 1/1 flowers. And you monster. Each of these flowers, I mean, has like 10, 11, 12 different colors, 1/1. I mean, they're beautiful. They kind of look like velvet, but they're so hard to do. So hard. And there's still 3 more mirror image on the other side, but we'll leave those for another time. I am still just loving this. So I think for next time I will, you know, work on this border going down and finish this big tree. And there are a couple of other trees on each side of that before I have to go back and take a crack at those other 3 1/1 flowers. So I'm really loving this one. And okay, I think the last whip I have to show you is I'm doing the Fast Frisian Sal by Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm a little bit ahead. It's really hard for me to just do 140 stitches a day on something, because once I start it, I just keep going. So here it is. And he suggested you could either do a monochromatic version, or there was a set of 5 flosses from Roxy Floss Co. I ended up just selecting my own. I thought I'd pick kind of a Christmassy vibe, so I picked a dark red and a light red, and a dark green and a light green, and then a gold. But I think this is just so much fun. It has like everything. It just has everything on it. This little spinning wheel, these gorgeous striped gloves, just all kinds of things. I love the little cauldron and the teapot. So much fun. So the last thing to do is to finish this Tree of Life. This all made me very nervous because the way the sal is laid out is to kind of go up around like this. This makes me very nervous. I hope I counted right to wait to do the middle because there's no room for error. I hope it doesn't run into everything else. I would have much rather started either in the middle or a corner and then, you know, moved across and down. But it's neither here nor there. It's gonna come out cute either way. And I had not done the hem stitch edge before I started, but I'll do that after it's done. I did learn how to do it a couple of years ago. I went to Jacob Palooza and he showed us in person how to do it there, and we got to practice a little bit. So I just had to pull that out and probably watch the video again, and I'll finish it like that. Okay, so that's it for the stitching. That's all I have to show you for now. Let's see, what else? Oh, I did get invited again to Sarah's Stitchy Spot Zoom meeting as a surprise guest Flosstuber, so that was a lot of fun. Gosh, you know what? I asked everyone's like Instagram, and everybody gave it, and I signed up immediately, like while we were on the Zoom call, and I didn't write them down. So lots of lovely ladies, and I won't mention the few that I can remember off the top of my head because I don't want to leave anyone off, but I really enjoyed meeting every single one of them, and Sarah was a lovely host, as always, hostess. Let's see, Blackbird Academy, we already talked about, so I'll look forward to working on that. I kitted up, what is it? The Heart Will Remember? Heart Will Remember? Hearts Will Remember? That one. So I know that's one I'm going to do. I haven't picked out the one for October yet with a pumpkin. So I'm gonna wait and see what others are doing. Because I looked through all my books and I didn't find one that really jumped out at me. So maybe I'll see one that someone else is doing and order it. Yeah, so I did get to go to Hobby House. I had a doctor's appointment up in Rochester. I'm doing okay, by the way. I'm getting a little better each day. Not ready to go back to work yet, but I'm thinking about it and putting out some feelers. I think probably in a few months I'll be looking to go back to work. As much as I love staying at home and cross-stitching all the time, I'm not quite ready to retire yet. So I'm taking advantage of the cross-stitch time while I can, and also trying to prepare myself mentally and emotionally for going back to work at some point. So I stopped, like I said, at Hobby House, which is near where I have to go to the doctor in Rochester. I got some finishing fabrics. So again, I showed you the purple for the needle book, and I just got some other finishing fabric. Really pretty. It was helpful to kind of take my pieces with me and find the right shades. I did pick up this chart. I had seen this on a Flosstube and I did not write it down again, so I can't for the life of me remember who did it, but she just finished it. This is Kittlewick Green by Rosewood Manor. Now, this is not one that I would ever have picked just by looking at the chart. But the stitcher had this finished and it was gorgeous. I think it's like the yellow linen that turns me off, but she had done it on a lighter color where everything just really popped out, and it was just beautiful. So I got this to stitch at some point. I also got an Campion for my black sampler wall, which will be coming together soon. And this is a nice small one that will be good for going around the edges. And I've always wanted to do this one. So I'll save this and do this for Black Sampler November. And I also picked up this pen mattress from the Mary Alcorn collection by Hobby House Press. Okay. So that's basically it. Personal updates, really not much to share. Really just boring stuff right now. I'm getting my gutters replaced, really boring adult stuff. I'm getting my kitchen remodeled while I'm home. It hasn't been done probably since the 1950s, and so it's way, way, way overdue. But that's been kind of exciting, just, picking out everything and looking forward to a time when it will actually be functional again. So that's about it. I will see you sometime in the middle of September. And in the meantime, happy stitching. Take care, everyone. Bye.